Today I want to talk about something that's a little bit closer to my domain. Dating older men.
Ben, but he's 35 years old.
Smash. Smash.
I like older men.
Yeah.
Smash. Smash.
If you're an old man with lots of money and you're overweight and this, that, and the other, but you're getting lots of girls, you're not getting girls. You're getting girls, you're getting investors, people who want to get money out of you. That's what you're getting.
And this came up because one of my very few female subscriber sent me a voice message. I can't play it, unfortunately, because she didn't want me to put her voice on air. And she said and the basic message was this: I'm dating a man 15 years older than me, and I really like him. But he seems to be a little bit controlling, and he always thinks that he's right, and sometimes it frustrates me. So she really likes him, but she don't know if it can last. So, guys, with that said, I'm going to give you my opinion. So let's get into it. But first, guys, you know what you got to do? Hit that old subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. I can see when you guys get notified. Okay, so a lot of you are not hitting that notification bell. So hit it so you can be notified when I drop a new video, because it's all knowledge here, guys. And of course, listen, if you guys want to talk to me directly, if you want more knowledge, if you feel like you need some mentoring or some advice from an older man with some knowledge, book a session on askanolderman.com. If you want a quick response to a message, send me a voice message on Ask an Older Man on Instagram. So let's get into it. But first, I want you guys to understand how women tend to view older men these days. In reality, every single woman wants to marry or get involved with a man that's older than them. Why? Because most men only come into their value later in life. It's a simple equation. So pretty much every woman wants an older man, because a 20-year-old woman and a 20-year-old man, you know what? Let Kevin Samuels explain it to you guys. I like it in this video here.
The sexual marketplace, a 21-year-old woman and a 21-year-old man, who has the higher sexual marketplace value?
The woman.
25-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman, who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
The woman again.
A 30-year-old woman and a 30-year-old man, who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
The man.
The 35-year-old man and a 35-year-old woman, who has a higher sexual marketplace value?
The man.
And as I keep going in 5-year increments, will women ever overtake a man's sexual marketplace value?
Not in the long term, no.
No. Will it grow at a steady rate, or will it get exponentially larger? Meaning a 50-year-old man and a 50-year-old woman, will they have the same difference between them as a 30-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman, or will it be greater?
It'd be greater.
Thank you. So by math, you've just said women have roughly a 10-year period before their value dips below men. So it doesn't matter if men aren't ready. Men have a fucking lifetime. Women got 10 years.
There. That's what I'm talking about. In other words, men gain their value as they grow older and older. Now, there's a caveat. If the man hasn't grown in financial value, he better grow in physical value, okay? Because there's nothing worse than a broke, fat old man, okay? But I can tell you, if he's fat, bald, and ugly, and he's a billionaire, no one gives a shit. Yeah, but then all he's doing is just getting taken advantage of by a woman who only wants him for his money. And this brings me to a conversation and a small argument I had with my wife yesterday after listening to another video where I made this statement: men are always paying for the pee. Men are always paying for the cat, and we know this. And she got a little bit offended by this. And she says, well, you didn't have to pay for it. And I said, yeah, I did. And that pissed her off even more. Because my wife works. She makes her own money. She does well. She's more of a modern type woman than a traditional woman. But she's modern, but she have a lot of traditional type views about life that are actually enough to balance it off. And you know what? I'm always trying to encourage her to come online to have a discussion with me so that she could explain to the modern woman these days that there is a nice balance between the two. Because we know without a doubt that most homes these days need dual incomes from the woman and the man in order to survive in any proper shape or form in a city. Yes, you could do it outside the city where things are a lot cheaper. Because it's very difficult for one person to survive on their own as a family, meaning a one-parent family. It's better to have two incomes. And I'm talking about average people. Let's get this idea out of your head that, every single man is making enough money to provide for freaking 2-3 kids, a wife, a home, 2 cars, school fees. That shit just isn't realistic for the average person. We need dual incomes. So my wife, we balance these things nicely. And I'm always trying to ask her to come on with me to sort of demonstrate how she does it, how she feels about it. Now, I digress a bit. Now, I'm only 4 years older than my wife. So I'm not considered an older man per se when it comes to her marrying an older man. I think an older man compared to a woman should only be considered once you go over 8 years, even pushing it to 10, because that's pretty much a big generational change regardless of your sex. Now, there's one thing that I'm always hearing online. Oh, these old men just want to take advantage of these young girls. When you hear stories of men only wanting younger girls.
I think like a relationship should be more meaningful than sex. Like I just
Exactly.
This doesn't make sense. Like it's okay for her to give her body away to an older man to use it, but it's not okay for her to give her body away to an older man who takes care of her and wants to be in a relationship with her. Then he has to be manipulative. Like that doesn't. I would argue that there's probably more manipulation to get her in the sack than it is to like have that long-term relationship.
The reality of it is, all men find younger women more desirable. Simple. It's as simple as that. This is biological. We want a woman who's more fertile. That only comes with youth. We want a woman who's more agreeable and fitter, healthier. These all comes with youth. Now, I'm very exceptional because my wife had traits that were conducive to a woman that I didn't mind having close to my age because she had very nice traits that were what I was looking for. So with that said, when she said I didn't pay for her, I had to remind her of one simple point. I said, if I was broke, or if I didn't make the amount of money that I demonstrated to you that I was making back 19 years ago, would you even have considered dating me? She mumbles some crap. The bottom line is, we know, you and I know, that it would not happen. It just wouldn't have happened. So we know as men that we're constantly paying for the pee. The cat is always for sale. But the problem is in the West is that it has become so cheap to some, but incredibly expensive for the average guy. Let me explain what I mean. A woman will give it away free to the Pookies and the Ray Rays. They will give it away free to the 6'6" guy easily. He can afford it. 6 feet tall, 6-pack, 6 inches or more, and 6-figure income. It's actually 4 6s. 6 feet tall, 6-pack, and 6 figures, and a 6-figure income. And of course, bonus is if he has a 6-inch or more. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? So my point is, those guys get it free. All he has to do is post a good face on any of the dating apps, and and he'll eat for free. Simple. Now, the average guy, he has to pay a price for it. He has to pay a high price for it. Of course, that is the dating market. If we're talking about the now we got to understand that's the sex market. When we get into the marriage market, when we're getting into the serious dating market, every average guy has to pay a premium for that. It's the weirdest shit. She'll give it away free, but when it comes to a serious guy, he got to pay for it. High price for it. And that's why most men in the West, when they want to get a marriage and they want to get into a serious relationship, they go overseas because it's cheaper. But one thing is very clear to all men, regardless of our age. We know that we're going to pay for it, and we have to pay for it. We're not stupid. We know we're paying for it. A woman don't look at you if you can't protect and provide. That provision is where we're paying. We know this. In saying that, we want to pay the least amount of money for the product. The issue is we got supply and demand. There's way more supply out there than there is demand for it. So the price have dropped significantly. So if the price, and we're talking about, but let's revert back to the sexual market value. There's way more supply out there than there is demand. High value men are rare. Men of means, men who have worked their butts off, and usually that is from a young age, and usually that don't come until he's around 35, 40, when he reaches his peak earning potential. 40 and up is when men peak. And then what? He has now reached this place where most women will now find him desirable because women are looking for provision, but men are looking for youth, fertility, agreeableness. Men are looking for the fit, friendly, feminine, and agreeable. That comes in their youth. So women are born with that. We don't care about your six-figure job. So now these older men are looking for these younger girls. Surprisingly, as we're going to see in this video, all of these young women are looking for those men.
Ben, but he's 35 years old.
Smash. Smash.
I like older men.
Yeah.
Smash. Smash.
Fast, yeah.
What's your age?
I'm 23.
And what's the limits for you?
25, 26 probably? Smash.
Oh, definitely smash.
You like older guys?
Oh, for sure.
Ideal age range for you?
Definitely over 30.
How old are you?
24.
Let's go, older guys!
Smash.
Old smash.
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 So it works out great. So the older women who have ignored men like me who telling you what we want and has pushed the envelope where they're now in their 30s and 40s, now ready to settle down, are now wondering, oh, where's my man? Now you have to compete with those 21 to 24-year-olds who want the man that you want. And because those men there don't want you, you now have to go higher. So if you're 35, you got to be looking for 55, 60-year-old men. And they come with a little bit more responsibility because they don't put up with bullshit. Men in my age, we don't put up with bullshit. No drama. We don't want to. Let this woman describe what we're looking for. Just so you don't have to keep listening to my voice, listen to this woman because she puts it together quite well.
Y'all, the pros and cons of dating an older guy. Starting with the pros. Number 1, they tend to be more experienced. Number 2, they tend to be more mature. Number 3, they tend to be willing or more willing to settle down quicker. Number 4, they tend to be more financially stable. Number 5, they tend to know more about what they want in life and in women. Number 5, they tend to be more direct and honest. They ain't trying to play games. All right, y'all, now for the pro. Oh, now for the cons, I mean. Let's get into it. Number 1, they may be more possessive. Number 2, they may be more controlling. Number 3, they may have more baggage. Number 4, they may be more critical of you. Number 5, they may have way less tolerance for the drama. They ain't trying to deal with all that.
There you go. So let me read a few comments from this woman's video so you guys can see exactly what other people are thinking. Adrian says, less tolerance for drama is not a con, it's a pro. Exactly. Another person said, I think the idea is that women love drama. As a result, it's a con for them. LOL. Ghost11 said, Not a con for women or men, only a con for people who enjoy wasting time on destructive behavior. Yeah, that's right. This gentleman said, I concur. I broke up with my last girlfriend because I had reached a breaking point with all the petty and ridiculous drama. Ladies, hear these words. Men, real men, want peace. Absolutely, I can tell you that right now. And usually, it's the more effeminate men that tend to give you drama. So take notes. Someone says, you would think it's a pro, but young chicks are full of drama or make drama out of nothing because they're bored. And that's another setback for men when they're dealing with younger women. A lot of these younger women get bored because older men have already settled into what they know is life. They see with a longer term vision. They know what works. They've been there. Now let's talk about the women who think that they're going to come in and be hot and beautiful and they're going to just con these old men out of their money. You know, I'm going to come in and get the bag. I want you guys to understand one basic rule about older men. There are two types of older men, just like there are two types of younger men. They're the simps and they're the OGs. Those are players, those guys that know what the fuck is going on. Okay, they're young simps and old simps. Steve Harvey is an old simp. All right? That's why Margie right now is dragging him through the mud because he thinks the sun shines out of her ass. He gives the worst information on dating ever. So what you get is you get these old simps who get screwed over by young girls.
If you're an old man with lots of money and you're overweight and this, that, and the other, but you're getting lots of girls, you're not getting girls. You're getting girls, you're getting investors, people who want to get money out of you. That's what you're getting. But money only attracts emotionally unavailable women. But looks or even like character or charisma or comedy, all of these things actually attracts connection. So yes, money attracts women.
Who think that, oh, I'm so happy to get this little young filly. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so happy. She throws a nice, good one on him and his head is blown and he thinks, oh, I'm just going to just dish that money out so that she stays there. And these girls know she got one. She got a lick. That's what they call it, lick? I don't know these terms. I've heard that term thrown around. She got a simp. In Jamaican, we call it, he's a boops, right? He's hooked in. And this is the man that never had a lot of pee growing up. And finally, you know, he get a little bit of money and he can throw a little bit here and there. But that woman becomes a parasite. She will suck him dry. And I gotta warn you, gentlemen, against this. The problem with being older is that you know it's happening and you can't stop yourself. It's like being a crack addict. So if you want to identify if you're an older simp, check your bank balance. If it is going down significantly and most of the money is going to your woman and not your investments, you're a simp.
No, none. That carried me to this day, man. You can't say nothing about Elosville Harvey. She off limits, man. We ain't playing them games.
Right. Steve Harvey. The big relationship man talk got cheated on himself. A marriage that he thought was solid is soon to end. And what's crazier is the person that his wife was smashing behind his back is his freaking security bodyguard. On top of that, she's demanding as usual half of his hard-earned net worth for $200 million, they say. Steve Harvey came out to address the matter saying, as many of you know, I have recently discovered that my wife, soon-to-be ex-wife Marjorie Elaine Harvey, is having an affair with my personal security. I didn't want to think it was true, but I found out the hard way she's a dirty hoe, and I never want to see her again.
The other older man that you're going to come across, ladies, is the OG, the player. He was a player in his young days. He still know the game because the game doesn't change. The players do. That's it. So you ladies who think that you're going to get with that OG, that player from the past, and he's good. You got to be careful of this one because he now has a little bit of money in his older age, right? And he's going to reel you in a little bit. And he's going to make you think that you're in charge. But you're playing checkers while he's playing 3D chess.
Found out how many women he actually cheated on you with.
And there was nearly 100 women on there.
If he was sleeping with that many women, she knew about it. She still stayed. How can we even possibly feel bad for her? What clearly happened is that she knew everything he was doing. He just got too wild with it, couldn't control his side chicks, and started publicly embarrassing her. You know, most of those women were his fans who fell in love with what he's preaching, even though he was cheating on his wife with them. All that sisterhood, black girl magic, you go girl, black girls rock, all that stuff goes out the window when they see a man that they lust after. Believe it or not, there's a lot of women that desire to be a side chick. They get off the fact that a man is already taken. They find a man who's already taken, especially if he's married, more attractive. Part of the reason is because if he's willing to marry a woman, provide and protect for her, then in a sick way, she feels like he would be willing to do the same for her.
That's the guy that will make you think you're winning, but he's winning for him. He's only playing for himself. That's the kind of guy that you almost feel like, I want to marry him. I want to get in deep with him. More than likely, he has more than one that he's playing with. He got a woman across town, but he makes you feel like a queen. And then there's a third guy. That's the guy that is the player, but he's finished with that game. Now he wants to treat you nice. He wants a fair exchange. That's the guy that's saying, listen, I'm willing to teach you about life. I'm willing to teach you how to do shit. I'm going to treat you well. I'm not going to only nourish your brain. I'm going to nourish you down there. I'm going to give you peace, tranquility, stability. Ladies, that's the man that you need to hang on to. Because that's the guy that's going to take you into your later years much more well-rounded, with a brain that feels like, hey, I have lived. That's the guy that you need. That's the guy that every woman needs. But you have to understand he expects a fair exchange. Because if he don't get it, you're out. That's the kind of guy that will just say, hey, you're finished. We're done. Don't play games with that guy. Because that guy has experience. He has intelligence, knowledge, wisdom. He has all of the things that will help you. That's the older guy that you need. Okay? So listen, I'm not going to make this long. Subscribe, guys. Like the video. Let me know your opinion. Now go out there, find yourself an older man. And of course, whenever in doubt, hey, ask an older man. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.